Something is wrong with this book cover. Besides Jessi's pants, I mean. The problem is that Jessi is only 1 year older than the triplets. Does she look 1 year older than these kids? No. I can believe it only if that year took place on another planet.
Argofont Book Review, Argofont Book Review.
This book was written by Jan Carr, who also wrote book 23. These two are the only books she wrote for the BSC series. 8 years later, she came back to write 4 little sister books. The book begins with Jessi's family watching a new TV show about kids at school. Jessi's favorite character is Waldo, the nerdy kid. He is so funny! Jessi can't wait to tell the other girls about him when the plot convenience fairy appears and waves her magic wand. Before you know it, Waldo's mother has called the Babysitters Club and asked Jessi to be his regular sitter. Wow, this is great! Jessi gets to babysit her favorite celebrity! Thanks, plot convenience fairy! Waldo's real name is Derek Masters. At first, Jessi is starstruck and bombards him with non-stop questions about the TV industry. Eventually, she realizes he's just a normal kid, not some sort of superhuman. The babysitting job goes much better after that. Sadly, Jessi is the only person in town who's enlightened with the knowledge that 8-year-old boys are 8-year-old boys. All the other girls become obsessed with Derek. Becca keeps asking about him, Karen wants him to make her famous, and Mallory talks to him with a British accent because, well, she's Mallory. On the other hand, all the boys in town hate Derek. Mallory's triplet brothers start a fight with him during a badminton game. Other boys make fun of him for wearing makeup on TV, and don't even get me started on John the Brat. No, he's not just a brat, he's a Superbrat! He throws Derek's lunch out the window and ties his shoes together. Superbrat! In addition to watching the plot kid, Jessi does ballet. She's surprised when her teacher says the local theater is performing Swan Lake, even though Jessi mentioned these auditions in the previous book. Continuity! Some dancers from New York are at the auditions. The entire time they stand around and say mean things about everybody else. I'm 90% sure that's what the Babysitters Club looks like to the other kids at their school. Jessi stresses out over the auditions, and Derek volunteers to become her audition coach. He pumps the mean girls for information about everything Jessi needs to improve on. Giving Jessi a list of all of her problems sounds mean to me, but she thinks that it's helpful. John starts a food fight with Derek. Superbrat! But then Claudia invites some of Derek's classmates over to his house. They mellow out when they see he's a normal kid. After that, nobody's mean to him anymore. Not even Superbrat. Speaking of Superbrat, this book is nearly over and we still haven't seen him yet. Maybe we shouldn't have named the book after this kid. I guess the author couldn't think of anything to do with Derek after solving the problem with his classmates, so Derek gets put on a bus and sent back to Los Angeles. The Babysitters Club spends a few chapters giving Derek a fun goodbye party. Derek tells Jessi that she should become a model and move to LA with him. She calls every agent in town and makes an index card for each one so she can compare and contrast their services. That was how people did research in the days before online reviews. It was awful. The modeling subplot ends up being a complete waste of 2 chapters because Jessi immediately throws out her box of index cards when she gets the ballet job. Ballet is the job she really wants to have, not modeling. Besides, if one of the babysitters got a new hobby which lasted for more than a book, the series would be thrown into chaos. Chaos, I tell you! We finish with Derek admitting that the Superbrat doesn't exist. Derek was the one who did all those mean things at school. He was acting out because he was lonely and wanted friends. The end. Post-book follow-up. The problem with this book is that the main storyline is about bullying, but all of the bullying takes place off-screen. We never see any bullying, besides for that one fight with the triplets. We just hear about the bullying secondhand in the same way we don't see Derek resolve his issues with his classmates. We hear about it secondhand from Claudia, who heard about it secondhand from Derek. I think it'd be more effective if Jessi was there for at least one of the scenes with Derek and his classmates. It could have been possible for that to happen without spoiling the twist ending where Derek is the Superbrat. In the same way, the subplot of Jessi calling agents would have been more effective if we actually heard one of these phone calls. Those complaints about the narrative aside, I liked this book. I think Jan Carr's previous book was better, but I liked this one more. Derek is an interesting kid, and I feel kind of bad that he only appears once more in the series. It would be nice to see him again and have him be a regular character, but alas, he does not. I give Babysitters Club number 27, Jessi and the Superbrat, an 8 out of 10.